I hate using this angle, but this is like the TikTok angle you guys like, but it shows the machine best. Just a refresher on how to use this. This is our food processor. It has a very sharp blade in it, but I'm just going to show you how to put it together. That's simple because we're going to use it today in part of our meatball recipe. So obviously, when you take it apart, make sure this is unplugged, all right? Now you're going to turn everything to the left, okay? Unlock that part here. This is where, if you want to push more things into the slicing connector, you can do that. You don't need that right now, so you don't even need that for this. So we take this guy off, put him aside, then turn it and take it off. And even see there, it says rotate counterclockwise to lock bowl this way. So when I see everybody struggling, like, just right here, all right? This is the blade. The blade is very sharp. Okay, so be very careful when you're handling it. Always handle it from here. When you wash, just like when you're washing a knife, wash away from you. Okay, wash away from the blades. Okay. So now we're gonna put this on, and we're gonna put it lock bowl this way. Okay. So put it here, and like it like that. Now a lot of students make the mistake of starting to put their Meez in here before the blade. If you start putting stuff in here without the blade, you're gonna have a bad time, because then you're gonna have to take everything out and then redo it, because this will not go in. It will just get stuck. So now that this is locked in place, we place this gently on top, so give it a little spin, and there it is right down there, okay? And stuck, all right? So you can put your stuff in now, and then lock it. Make sure this part is facing away from you, and over here at 7 o'clock and 5 o'clock, you have these clamps here. So I'm gonna put my Meez in real quick and show you how to blend it, because the first part of the meatball recipe is to blend the liquid ingredients before we add it to the beef. Let's get our Meez in here pureed to add to our beef, okay? So remember, plug me in, okay? Okay. Make sure you have sockets that are installed by someone who doesn't work for the school construction authority, so it actually works. There we go. All right, so I have my Meez here that I'm gonna use for my liquid team. All right, so we got our rough chopped onion, our egg, the garlic. It says 5, but I put 5 to 10 to 30, whatever you like, if you like a lot of garlic. My 1/4 cup of parsley, not packed, okay? I'm just gonna put in there what I chop in my chicken stock, all right? And when you use the chicken stock, give it a mix when it's on the table, because it'll settle. All right, so we're just gonna give all this stuff a light puree. Just put everything in there. All right. Chicken stock, gently, don't splash it everywhere. Garlic. Okay. So I'm gonna let this run for a little bit. All right. So now you could hit on or let it pulse for a little bit, but I just like to let it pulse a few times, see where it's at, just to get the party going. All right. And just hit on. Okay, maybe just check it out, see what's going on. You see some of the chunks are sticking up, so then just use your handy spatula and just knock some of them right back down. You want them to be nice and smooth. Some people, they'll use milk and bread and other things. My recipe, I like to use a stock with aromatics. A lot of Italians do it this way. Gives a lot of flavor. Okay, so now it looks pretty good where we want it to be. If you can kind of see in there, you see how it's nice and pureed. Now I'm going to add my eggs in, okay? 2 eggs, okay? Organic, cage-free, woke eggs that we have here, all right? Let that go for a little bit. Okay, and that's pretty good. So now that's what we want. Go to the left, take this off, tilt it a little bit so I can carefully remove my blade. And maybe a little suction there, okay? Tap off the excess. And then we're going to bring this over to the beef and then continue. All right, so now I'm back at my correct angle here, not that TikTok nonsense. So I got the rest of my mise en place here. I got my panko breadcrumbs, okay? I got my Italian breadcrumbs. I got my grated Parmesan, my salt, and my red pepper. All right, so now I have my beef here, okay? Now, in practicing good protocols for non-contamination, cross-contamination, I'm just gonna move over my green cutting board so I can put my bowl here. I don't wanna put anything that has raw meat on top of a green cutting board or a cutting board that's for ready to eat food. So I have my liquid puree here that I have, and use a rubber spatula to scrape out anything that's on the sides. Put that back in, okay? Make sure you get all that stuff. Use the side here of the blade and get everything in there, okay? Put that to the side, then we'll add the rest of our stuff, okay? The breadcrumbs, the panko, okay? I like putting a little both because the panko gives a nice airy texture, makes it light, okay? And then our salt and red pepper, okay? If you like it spicy, you could add a little more, but you know, always talk with your group about that. So now I'm gonna mix this a little bit, and the best thing with meatballs that people don't really do, even like a meatloaf or anything, we're using ground meat, kebabs, things like that. You wanna let the meat marinate. So we're gonna make this, and we're gonna marinate it for about 2 days before we actually form it, fry them, and then we're gonna make our sauce and let them cook in the sauce a little bit before we put them on our garlic knots, Parmesan them, and have our little sliders, okay? So I'm gonna finish this up. Make sure it's really well mixed. I don't want to see you guys putting away. You have to make sure that there's no bold spots here, okay? You see how this here, there's no seasoning there. You gotta mix this really good for about a couple minutes so you get everything really, really incorporated well, okay? So I'm gonna finish this up and we'll get started. Remember, we have to do this and we have to do the dough today, okay? So good luck.